Welcome back to the Punched channel. On the table, we have the Caucasus campaign maps. That is from the Stalingrad 42 game, designed by Mark Simonich and published by GMT Games. And so this is the Fall Blau, or Case Blue, 1942 Axis summer offensive against the Soviet Union. And this map has the primary strategic goals of the entire campaign at hand, which is to take the oil-producing areas around Maikop and Grozny, and with a real stretch goal, but not strictly necessary, of heading off into the sunrise, if you will, and going to Baku. Right. This turn is the 13th turn. It's the Axis 13th turn. And it is October 1st through 7th. The weather remains actually fairly favorable. It is only overcast weather. We do get our air unit. Right. So I'm going to go from the east and come back to the west, and we'll talk about what happened this turn. So over here near Nalchik, I remain engaged in city battle. I didn't like the odds. I could get a 2-to-1. I've got no air. I've got no artillery support this turn. So instead, I decided to do a 3-to-1 attack against, and I hope this comes through reasonably well on the video. This is the 5th Guards Independent Tank Brigade, I suppose. And even with the river doubling on the defender, let's see, yeah, we had the defender ×2. We still had very decent odds, and we wound up with a D1. It was a D1 advance 3. So that killed the unit and came across and actually went, this was about as far as I cared to go, so as to maintain a Zoc bond through here. So that was a pretty good result for me. And as far as I'm concerned, they can stay locked in the city battle, and I may even pull some troops out because we're just really thumb wrestling in there. The rules do not seem to require attacking one way or the other. It's just, you know, wave at each other across the street, I suppose. I did pull this unit back. Why? Well, because that way from the city, all of the things being equal, it's two Ezoc hexes, right, to go anywhere from here. So that means that they will be out of supply, which is going to be real good. So, and I think not only out of supply, but also I want to say isolated. That'll take a turn or two, but I really don't care about these guys. I just want to roll up the entire line here and work my way back towards Grozny. Yeah, so that's what's happening here. More in the center, I've moved the 97th Jaeger Division up here to Armavir. I've left the 454th Security where it was in Kropotkin. That'll help avoid any further mischief. And I moved the supply point over here to Voroshilovsk. Now, you'll notice also that we've got the first appearance of the North Caucasian volunteer units. I brought on 2 units because I had skipped a turn. So I went 1 in Krasnodar, 1 in Voroshilovsk. I'm just leaving the one here. The one in Krasnodar, I'm getting my move on. Just the 1 hex that was permitted the first turn. Reinforcements included the 444th Security Division, which came up about this far and in an extended move. And then I used my replacement point to reconstitute the 4th Reconnaissance Battalion. I don't know if they're CRAD, if they're motorcycle, or if they are I would think that they're motorcycle. They don't look like they're particularly motorized, so I'm thinking they're a bicycle reconnaissance. Either way, they move 4, that's fine. I get a unit. Right. Over here near Maikop, well, I I swapped out. So I brought the 101st Jaeger away from my cop. 1, 2, 3, 4. How did I do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not sure how that was supposed to happen. 1, nope, he can't do that. Well, I could have sworn that I had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's as far as that guy can go. Was he there, though? Was he somewhere else? Was he here? I'll have to look it up. I'll retcon the unit as I need to. I'll check the tape for the for his positioning at the end of turn 12 Soviet, and I'll do the fix as necessary. No big deal. That's a hex or two either way. Pulling back a hex or two would leave the ASU vulnerable, so that's interesting. Okay, then over here, issued an attack. We came across the river, and with the help of air and the ASU that had been basically recharged, if you will, reloaded, we issued a 5-to-1 attack and got a defender shattered advance 4. So took out the armored unit, I think it was. Something like that. And drove them back almost to Taman. In the ensuing, I know it was an advance 4 because the rest of the moves were advance 4. So we came across the river, 1, issued an attack against the little 2-2. Oh, right, because we get to select, we selected the armor. It was a defender shattered. So we took out the, I think that's some kind of light tank. Looks like a light tank. So took him out with the first blow. Then in the second blow, took this guy out. 7-to-1 odds, defender shattered, continue the advance. And I don't recall exactly what we got, though we did have 7-to-1 odds, and we took him out too. And that was the end of our breakthrough combat group. Now, the other units just did regular advances after combat and came over 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 1, 2 to begin investing Novorossiysk. Right. So that was quite the eventful breakthrough combat group, and that just shows the power of breakthrough combat and also the combat capabilities of elite armor groups in this. So just something to be very aware of and very wary, very scary, wary, that sort of thing of. All right, so that's the end of turn 13 Axis. Now, I'm going to continue on and do turn 13 Soviet, and I'll check for necessary retcon here, I think. I think that's the right place to check for it. And I will, let's see, yeah, this is the city group, city battle group. I may very well pull some forces out because he's not necessary there and I could use some mobility. Didn't think to do it this turn, but we'll come back to that. Oh, and you note that I left the SS Viking over here to basically maintain the Zok bonds in this area. I could have advanced him with the rest of the group, but I don't think it was strictly necessary. We'll see how that works out. Right. Okay, that's it. And now I'll get on with 13 Soviet. Turn 13 Soviet. Still October 1st through 7th. And nothing terribly earth-shattering. I mean, this is typically how you play, I think how you play Soviets. You look for those opportunities to do a counterattack. None are really forthcoming, let's say. So, yep. But what have we got going on here? Well, we had two divisions and a brigade come on, and they have come up to the town of Beslan, taking up a position on the Terek River. Now, I've drawn forces from along the defensive line here on the, what do we call it, Upper Terek, Northern Terek, the main river part of the Terek, and come over in this direction so that I have some good units here at this crossroads. And I'm forming a very nice Zoc bond barrier along the river line and tied into the edge of the map, as I understand it. Plus, I've got a couple of extra units giving me defense in depth. I did take a replacement on the 402 plus 414 infantry division back here and moved it the permitted 1 hex. I'm leaving kind of a remnant, not a remnant, but a depleted division back here, just in case I might need it. So we'll see how that works out. What else? The Axis still does have the ability to pull out and go mobile with this unit. Take him a couple of turns, but he can get all the way over here. Now he's going to have a supply issue, unfortunately. So we'll have to see how that works out. Okay, tracking over. Left the units here in Armavir and in Tikhoretsk. Did move out a division. The 339th Division is taking the road up along the coast towards Novorossiysk. I pulled back the 2 brigades that had been in the mountains into Novorossiysk proper, and also brought in the 394th Division from its mountain position. Came down from the hills, and there you go. So I think it went like that, let's say. Just left these guys here. There's not a whole lot I can do with it. They at least form a speed bump here and something of a threat against the supply lines, and we'll just see how that happens. Pulled back the 30th Irkutsk, Irkutsk, Irkutsk. It's near Kamchatka, in Risk, you know. It's the only reason I know it. Pulled them back and shifted down from full retreat into disrupted mode, and that's nice. What else? Everything else is, well, as good as it can be expected here. I do note that, it does appear that we are out of supply here in Nalchik, but not for the Germans. They're happy enough. All right, that's it. Awaiting developments here, and really on the Soviet side, what I'm doing is I'm playing for time, right? There are 5 more Axis turns, and realistically, if I hold on to the coast and they do not get Grozny, if I can just delay, then I've got a decent chance of winning this thing. I mean, counting it is 1, 2, 3, 4 for the mountain. Currently 5 for Taman, but I don't hold out much hope. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which means, plus I'm also holding these positions, and that could scotch it as well. So currently they've got 14 out of 19, which leaves the Germans with 5 VP. If my count's correct, could be off, doesn't matter much. It only matters on turn 27. I mean, it matters in planning for turn 27, that's fine. These turns aren't taking a whole lot of time to play. The Soviets are easy to play, just delay. They never really ever, never do they ever have the forces with which to mount much of a significant attack. But by careful positioning, they can delay the heck out of the Germans, and you hope that the Axis player is going to make a few mistakes. We'll see. I did a retcon over here. Note the reserve marker, which I now throw away. these are infantry units. I went looking for the mountain unit because I've got a use for the mountain unit maybe in the mountains. And it occurred to me from here, they're only going 2 hexes. So they were not available to do the final attack here. But 10, it was 10 to 2 is 5 to 1, 6, 7 to 1, 8 to 1 with air. The 7 to 1 holds, and the result was fine. The kick is up, and it's good. Right, so that is the end of turn 13. I'm going to go ahead and we'll segment over to turn 14 Axis, then turn 14 Soviet, and call it a day for this video, along with maybe a few parting thoughts. But, you know, it's interesting. You wind up, the way that I played this as the Germans is I didn't really worry too much about Taman, about the peninsula over here, and about getting the Blucher forces. It would give me line of communication troops, which, come to think of it, they would come in handy now, wouldn't they? And it would really only give me, you know, one first-rate division, and you know, it was going to be a lot of work. Now it's a lot less work, and I feel reasonably good about getting Novorossiysk. It's not going to be perfect. I'm going to have to do a city fight, but I have air and I have artillery, ASU available. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can range there, and if I bring him over, he's 5. So as long as I can range to the friendlies, I can range the target effectively. As I understand, you have to range the unit that you are supporting, not the target hex notionally. So that's my understanding of the rules. Right, which means that I can readily obtain a +2 shift as long as the weather holds and as long as my supply lines hold, which I think that they are doing fine, and I should be able to get over, kick out Taman, come back the other way, bring in the Blucher units, which I guess it's 1 per turn. I'm not going to get all of them. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4 on. And he's got a 2, 7 defense. 1, 2, 3, and I'm out of position there. So I can bring 12. He's got 7. I could really use 14 to get 2 to 1. I could maybe get 5 to 1. 2, 3, 4. Nah, it's going to be a turn. Yeah, it's going to be a turn before I can do much of anything. So that's okay. That's okay. And really, I need to knock these 2 guys out, get them moving out of the downtown area, and hold on to these guys here. I still don't think that I've got what it takes. I could do a 2 to 1 attack on these guys, but they're in terrain, which is going to bring it back to 1 to 1, which makes it up to 2 to 1. So, you know, dicey. And if they go there, then, you know, Mr. Hey, I'm a mountain man can come in and, you know, not really a good thing. But we are getting to the point where things are becoming a bit more desperate, perhaps, for the Soviets, particularly if I take Taman and Novorossiysk and are able to kick them out of Tversk, Tikhoretsk, and Armavir. So, all right. Let's continue. All right, turn 14 Axis. Fairly decent turn going on here for the Axis. Trying to get some stuff done. The weather is cooperating too. We got to clear. All right, let's go west to east this time. So starting off, we had a nice 7 to 1 attack with the Romanians here and here, and the attackers here. And that's as far as they can go on their advance. Got a nice 7 to 1 attack. DS. Basically, the only way they could come was into a Zok, and they could not do a desperate defense, so they took the hit here, went into the Zok, took the second hit, and the stack was gone. These are normal advances after combat. Across the river and one more hex, 2 hexes. Across the river, one more hex, 2 hexes. And then 2 hexes from here for this other infantry stack, and then all the way over here with the elite armor. Further invested over here. I think this might have been the same way, but I did move the 101st Jaeger across the mountains. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4 to cut the road. Very nice. No movement here. A lot of movement here. I moved the, oh, speaking of which, speak of the devil. I get another unit showing up here in Krasnodar. Do I want him in Krasnodar? No, I don't. I want him in Voroshilovsk. And he can go 1 hex. That's nice. All right. And I took the reinforcements. So reinforcements came on here into contact. The other units here are spread out so that there is no way for him to get supply. He should go isolated this turn, and we will see how that turns out for this guy. So he's at half attack, so he's at 2. Right. Maintaining contact here, moving in the direction over here. Let's see, yeah, that's fine. Stationary. Took my replacement on the elite armor unit here. So, abandoned the city fight. So I moved my units out with a tactical and over, out and then back over. And I moved the remaining armor units here. So here is my these units. Basically, I got a 5-to-1 attack because there's no intervening river. So with the 5-to-1 attack, I wound up getting, what did I wind up getting? I got a 1. Yeah, I rolled a 1. Could have been worse. I got a DR2 advance 2. Failed to make their determined defense. No, they got a delay. That's what it was. They were in a fortification. They got a P, which meant they still had to come back 1 or 2 hexes and go disrupted, and they did that through a Zoc, so they took a casualty step. Then in the advance after combat, I moved the armor here. I moved an infantry here, and the units that were here, I moved north. And the units that were here, I moved north as well. So I think I left the 673 in place. So got some fairly good mileage out of that. I think I did it right. Could quibble maybe about the city battle. Once the city battle is gone, there's now an Ezoc there. But you've got to be able to withdraw in 1 turn, so I don't think there was an Ezoc until I cleared. I'm doing a tactical move, and so I was able to move the 1 hex I needed. And I'm going to go with that. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. Brought the supply truck over here, and came out of Piatigorsk to meet the supply truck. So I should be able to flip that ASU on the initial phase of next turn. So doing a check. Railheads. Hey, you know, I can actually move Mr. Railhead. I forgot to do it last turn. I'll just take the one I've got. No, I do rather like that. I'm going to retcon and take the move Railhead from last turn as well, because that gets me 1, 2, 1, 2, and I want to see what happens. So I will have the rail line complete on the 25th of October, so that'll give me a couple turns with rail movement. I think I can do rail movement. If I can get these guys off the dime here and free up my rail lines, I should be able to use the rail to deposit some troops in this vicinity. To what good that might do, I don't know. Anyway, I think that covers everything that was going on here. And that's that. We'll come back and I will do turn 14 Soviet. And hopefully they'll be making some sense out of what's going on with their defense here. It's not horrible, but I noticed that the mobile units are now fairly mobile again, and the infantry units are at least somewhat out of place. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got a major problem over here. 8. Because the Soviets are holding too many victory points for a victory at this point. Yeah. And I know that the playbook advised go to Taman first, but I'm pretty happy with what I've done so far. I just think that I'm liable to not be so happy with what I wind up with at the end of the game. And I have to have cleared this line, basically. In order to get to Baku for 3 VP, you've got to have a cordon off the river through here. Tricky. Tricky, tricky indeed. And the Soviets have 4 more. Where'd the 351 go? Well, I don't know where the 351 went, but there's this guy. He'll serve. And why do I care about this guy in Taman? He can't do anything. On the second to last turn of the game, I place a guy in Taman, so I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I can get him into a last-minute fight at Novorossiysk. That's about it. All right. Thank you for paying attention to this segment. Went a little long, but a lot to think about. And I'm still learning the ins and outs of this particular board. This turn took about 30 minutes to kind of sequence everything right. I didn't lose any guys. I took out 4 Soviets, so that's not horrible. And then coming up is T14S. And clear. And at least as of right now, well, we'll worry about victory points down the road here. Right. Cool. This is the turn 14 for the Soviets. And got a few moves, nothing horribly consequential, but I suppose the most interesting one may be the 151 plus 392 infantry division broke out of Tikhoretsk. They did a tactical move, then issued a 1-to-1 attack, and of all things, they got a DR2 on their opponent, who moved basically over here, and this is their advance after combat. So they remain unsupplied, but they have freedom to act. We've got some minor moves over here in the Tuops area. Just moved the Naval Brigade down through town and over to cover the coastal road. Moved 339th Division off the coastal road through the mountains and trying to go around 101st Jaeger. That's it for that side. Left the 32nd Guards in static in Armavir. Then over in Nalchik, the units have gone into isolation mode, but they held fast and didn't lose any steps. Minor reshuffling here, dropped back the 1st Infantry Corps, which is no longer disrupted at the end of the turn. Set up a fort here at Beslan, started to set up one. Brought a reinforcing 9th Infantry Corps up here to the fortification south of Mozdok, and moved the prior occupants, the, 328 plus 408, over to the vicinity of Gudermes, where they will go into fortifications. And probably on the next turn, I will likely put a fort here at hex 7257, and that should just about close the line of the Terek. And it's trying to supply through the desert anyway. That's kind of a losing proposition. So, okie dokie, that's what's going on here. Oh yes, and moved one unit that had come out back into forts. So we've pretty much got a nice setup of forts all around except for this hex, and over here towards the exit to Baku. So it looks like the Germans are going to have to do some things fairly head on. Yeah, I don't see much option for that. All right. That should do it for this turn. So let's see, I was doing turns 13 and 14 together, so this should be the wrap-up for turns 13 and 14. As you can see, the Germans have, or the Axis rather, has wrapped up, just about all but wrapped up the western half of the map, aside from the coast, which was historically a tough nut to crack. There are 4 turns left in this game, and I'm thinking that the line of the Terek here is going to be very difficult to get through. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to take either, go for it here, and that may be an option. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's tricky, but I think doable. I can put a token unit in one of these 2 hexes to come across the river at this sort of salient here. 8, but I'll have units here, so they're not, the defender is not doubled, and most of the units will be attacking from here, so they're not halved either. They're just simply no tank shift. But I should be able to get a 5 to 1, maybe 6 to 1, depending on how I can do it. I'm not certain that I can, but I am fairly confident that I can try, and we'll see how that goes. All right, well, hope you enjoyed the video. I also hope you like and subscribe, and I will see you down the road.